Welcome to What's That Pen, helping you find your next perfect pen. My name is Amanda, and today we are looking at the Hobby Lobby brand twin tip brush markers. I was wandering through Hobby Lobby and of course got sucked into that brush marker aisle, and I found these ones. They're $19.99, which made me pause, but then they were 50% off. So I thought, for $10 when there are 36 markers, how bad can they be? Let's see just how bad or great they are in today's video. Even at full price, these pens are not too bad, because that would be 55 cents a pen, which is actually cheaper, I think, than any of the other pens that we've looked at together. But at 50% off, they're only 27 cents a pen, which is a no-brainer, even if they end up just being something my children color with. These pens come in a pack of 36, 24, and 12, so there are a few options, but everyone knows when shopping at Hobby Lobby, don't buy anything without your coupon. So maybe a good thing for a coupon purchase. Now, there is very little information on the package as to what you can expect inside, other than it is water-based. So, okay, ink type, water-based. That means that it will smear if you get water on it. It could smear with your hand, sweat, moisture. And it is probably not acid-free, or they would have listed it on there. It's also unlikely that it's acid-free just because of the cost. So we'll give that a huge question mark. Let's open the pack and see what the tips look like. Now, the colors look kind of exciting. There is quite a variety of colors. We have one brush tip and one super tiny thin tip. I usually like to have a double-sided pen where I feel like the thin tip is actually sort of related to the size of the brush tip, because otherwise they're kind of difficult to use together. But that's just me. So we have a brush nib. It looks like it is felt-based. It's definitely not a nylon nib, which means that it will fray. Make sure you're using it on the correct paper. The correct paper being a super smooth paper, and preferably one of the ones linked down below, because those will make sure that whatever pen you're using, it will lengthen the life of your pen. All right, our upstrokes and downstrokes are fine. It's relatively easy to use for those transitions. And, well, that was messy because I hit the package. So let's pretend none of us saw that. But the difference between the upstrokes and downstrokes look relatively good. Mint, that's not a color you see in too many packs. So our thick downstroke, it's more like an aqua, not so much a mint. Thick downstroke is not super thick. There's actually quite a bit of force that you have to use on the pen to get that thick downstroke, which is good if you are heavy-handed. And the thin upstrokes are pretty easy to control. Now, of course, because these are just a regular felt-based pen, I am a little bit nervous about how they will wear over time. You always want to keep that in the back of your mind, especially because you do have to push pretty hard to get those downstrokes. So looking at our Nib Rebound, going up and down, over and over, there is a curve to the pen, so you will have to turn it, but it looks like the curve starts halfway down the tip of the pen, so it's not bending right from the base here. It is actually curving as you add pressure onto the pen, which is usually a little bit easier to get those smooth transitions. So I would say that this is a satisfactory to okay Nib Rebound. Not the worst I've seen, and also not the best. For the writing size, while these are pretty large when you look at them, oh, look at that, it's still even curved like that. That's not great. You're gonna need to turn your pens regularly. But while they are pretty large, the writing size, I would say, is more in the medium range, because the downstrokes are not super thick, not as large as I expected them to be, and the upstrokes you can control. Let's do our juiciness test. So coloring in this, wow, it looks like it should be neon, and it's not at all. And then smearing. There's not much smear, so it has regular juiciness. It's not super dry, but I am sort of disappointed by the color. This looks like it's going to be a nice solid neon color, and instead it's orange, which is totally different than neon. So it's a little bit of false advertising there, but it's regular juicy. And let's check out its transitions. So they are tempting us with another neon here, neon pink. Let's see if this one is actually neon. Our upstroke curving around to a downstroke, it's pink. Very little neon about it, but it's actually really quite easy to use. The curve on the inside and the curve on the outside are smooth, and I was going relatively fast doing those curves. So, you know, while the colors are a little bit misleading, they are pretty easy to use, so that's kind of nice. Now, while most of this might seem promising, I do want to point out a few things that I noticed while I was writing out the pen name. The first thing that I noticed is that not all of the pens had the same flex. For instance, this one, I had much larger downstrokes than I did when I was using the greens. And then going back to the purple, the downstrokes were larger again. Also, this was the very first time I had used this pen, and by the time I got to the end of this letter, it had frayed already. The tip of the pen is already completely frayed. I'm not sure if it's just by color that there are those issues, because this green one seems to have held up okay. One thing I did find was that it was getting stuck on the paper a little bit, which you can see here and then here. It wasn't quite as smooth as many other pens that I have written with. So while this does seem very tempting, the fact that many of the colors are not what the caps say, the fact that it frays by the end of the very first word ever written, and the fact that it doesn't glide very smoothly over the page would make me say that even the 27 cents per pen might not be worth it. I know that when I take these home, they are going straight into my girls' felt pen collection. They're not even something that I feel like I might want to keep for myself for 1 or 2 projects. So I would say that even though these might seem like a screaming deal, it's money that you're probably just going to be sort of flushing down the toilet. If you're looking for a marker that you could use with your children to teach them the loveliness of brush lettering, actually I might not even say to use these ones, but I don't know, 27 cents a marker, it does seem super tempting. Might be better though to save that $10 and buy a pack that has fewer markers but better quality markers that will last you a much longer time and be something that you will enjoy writing with even more. On a scale of getting these pens, yay, okay, nay, or stay away, I would say that as much as I wanted to like them, as much as I was excited about the deal, all of the possible colors, it's probably one that I would suggest staying away from. Save that $10, $20 if you pay full price, and use it for pens that you will truly love to letter with.